The 14 gram, the heavy weight is in the front, and the 2 gram is in the back. I'm going to hit 2 shots with it in the way it is now. I'm probably going to change it up a bit. So I'll hit 2 shots with the weight in the front and 2 shots with the weight in the back, and see the difference for you guys, because that's change of weight, the interchangeability. You don't buy the driver and just leave it as is. You obviously change it per individual. The heavy weight for me makes me nervous in the front because of the minute the heavy weight is in the front, it literally makes the sweet spot smaller. Putting the heavy weight in the back increases the MRI, makes the sweet spot bigger. Last driver. Like I said earlier, 14 weight in the front, 2 gram in the back. Pretty nervous about this, to be honest. The ball striking days is a little different for me these days, but we'll give it a honest hit, and then we'll change it up and see what that performance difference it makes by just changing the weight with the same head. Visually, when you put it down, even more compact. Looks like a smaller head. The back of the driver is more compact. It doesn't have that like extended, elongated feature at the back. If we look at the 2 extremes, so I've got the Max D in my hand and the triple diamond. If you look at the shape of the head, you can see a lot deeper face, higher crown, shorter. The back of the driver is a lot more shorter and more compact versus the Max D. I mean, you can see by that the shape of the driver is completely different. So this has got a higher crown, and this has got a more of a shallow head. From a visual, you can see completely different between the 2 extremes of the driver. It's definitely the most intimidating head out of the 3. I mean, when I put it down, it sits a lot more open than the others, and this doesn't seem to feel as upright as the others. So let's give this a go. 105.7. 2.5 spin. Obviously, that's the heavy weight in the front, low spinning option in the driver. Club head speed wasn't great. Smash and ball speed wasn't that bad. Carries come down back to the Max D. Didn't hit a good swing on that one. Still take it, I suppose. It just feels a little unforgiving for me personally, but that's obviously due to the setup, the way it's set up right now. So we'll hit a couple more and then change it up a bit. $105. Okay, I'm going to change these weights now. So as you can see, this is an interesting fact. Okay, the heavy weight is in the front right now, the 14 gram. So like I said earlier, this makes the sweet spot smaller. Okay, you're moving the center of gravity forward. So you can see by the spin rate on the last one, it was 3,300. And the other one obviously was a little bit better, 2.5. But I'm more worried about the miss than the good one. So with the smaller sweet spot, if I mishit it in the face, it's obviously going to spin more because of the gear effect of the driver. So that's why I've been nervous to hit it this way with this setup, because I know the minute I mishit it, it's going to go nowhere. It's probably going to go right, and that small sweet spot is going to actually put me off completely and give me very, very average numbers. This driver is designed for high club head speed, for ball strikers. The very good thing about this driver is that you can change these weights. I mean, if it was fixed like this would be so brutal. I mean, you'd have to be such a ball striker to hit it on this setup. So I honestly do think that changing this weight right now is going to change the driver big time for me. So the 2 grams in the front and the 14 grams in the driver. 14 gram is in the driver. And obviously you get different weights as well for the driver. So we've changed the weight right now. I feel like this is going to change the driver completely. Back in the day, in my tour days, this is probably the driver I would use from a setup perspective. There it is. The feel of the driver is completely different with that weight change, like unbelievably different. Like as you can see from the dispersion pattern, it's a lot more straighter because the sweet spot's bigger. And ball speed's gone up, smash is 150, 263 carry, 290 total, 2-4 spin. Launch angle is on the number that I want to be. That should be pretty optimal for my club head speed again. As you can see there, pretty optimal numbers right there. Just that small weight change changes the driver completely. The look does not change when you change the weights, obviously. But from a feel perspective, from a forgiveness perspective, and a performance perspective, different driver completely. There's my trusty fade. Wow, look at those numbers. So if you have a look at the dispersion pattern on the screen, very, very consistent dispersion numbers. I mean, it's the tightest so far. Smash factor is very consistent between 149 and 150. Carry is literally carrying consistent. Ball speed is very, very consistent. I did hit that a little lower on the face, but that sweet spot did give me a bit more forgiveness. And on that low strike, I will take that 3,000 spin all day, and my launch angle didn't change much. Let's see if I can get past that 106.8 with this. There we go, little under a mile more. I mean, I think I'm just a 107 golfer all day. As you can see from those 3 shots with this setup, with a heavy weight in the back and the lighter weight in the front, completely different driver. I mean, my average carry is very consistent. Literally, the 3 carries were 265, 264, and 263. I mean, super, super, super consistent. If I had a choice between the 3 drivers, it would obviously be between the Max and the Triple Diamond. It's honestly a tough decision for me. That weight change did spice it up completely for my decision. I wasn't even thinking about this driver with the first setup. I do like the look of a more forgiving driver. So the Max stands out from a visual perspective for me. So I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. I know the Max was a 9. From a feel perspective, it does have a bit more compact feel to it. So from a feeling, I would give it, on this setup, obviously, with the heavy weight in the back, a 9. And from a performance point of view, with this setup, it is the best. I mean, that last one I did push a little bit. I'm getting a bit tired now, and I did try go after it. And when I do go after it on the golf course, I tend to miss it right. That's just a given. But the positive thing there, it was under 3,000 spin. The launch angle hasn't changed at all. And the smash is super consistent. I think that's the best smash out of all of them, 149. So performance perspective on this setup right now is a 9. If I had to comment on the same driver with the heavy weight in the front and the lightweight in the back, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to give it a 7 out of 10. The field felt terrible for me personally. Obviously, I didn't find the middle of the club face often enough, but the driver just feels different. Now, every person is different, but from a field perspective, it's a 7 out of 10 on the field. Performance, you could see it was probably the worst out of the 3 drivers. Everything was high right, spinny, due to the small sweet spot. So, but it's a catch-22 because it's the same driver, and one is sitting at a 9, 8.5, 9 out of 10 review for me, and then with the weight change, it's sitting at a 7. So what does that tell you? When you buy a driver or you're interested in a driver, go for a fitting, because that small weight change in the driver, and just remember, we've got so many interchangeable settings on the hosel, on the Callaway tip. It changes the driver completely. It's very crucial. I'm not punting my business. I don't care where you get fitted. I do this to educate the golfers out there. Whether you want to come see me or not is super irrelevant. This is super organic right now. But I do this to give you guys the information to not go waste money and not have that education about these things. It's super crucial. And this was a very, very good example. Same driver, completely different review just based on a setting change. Very, very, very cool review. I enjoyed this a lot. I've been actually super excited to review this driver. I have hit it quite a bit, but I haven't gone into this detail, to be honest.